Here is everyone. Someone missing? So the first chapter of this Bodhicitta Avatara is more they're talking about the quality and beneficial of the Bodhicitta mind. This is one of the like that when you hear the really qualities of the Bodhicitta, then may people have also enthusiasm, may people kind of appreciation, may people can get, oh, this is something we needed. You know, this is like more about talking about the benefit. So then, so this the name of this teaching is that called entered into the Bodhisattva path or Bodhisattva conduct. So now the first is like the method or the quality and benefit of the Bodhicitta mind they express here. And in this chapter, there's three kind of main things. The first is they're talking about what kind of support we need, you know, from, I think, more like physically, what kind of physical support we need. And then second is what kind of mentally we need, you know, into enlightenment, you know, mentally what we need. And then third is how we really entered into, like these three kind of things, okay? Three kind of things. That is the first, the support. Support means the body, you know, more like body. And then here says, so hard to find the ease and wealth, whereby the aims of beings may be gained. If now I fail to turn it to my profit, how could such a chance to be my again? So this is very popular word. So many translators use different translated, okay? So here they talk about, I think, ease and wealth. I don't really know exactly what it really means, but in also my perfect teachers they talk about freedom and endowment. So ease is more like, I think, what we use in Senyung also, that also they talk about ease. And this is tal, together what tal is more free. Jor is sometimes we translate as wealth, but in this case actually jor means endowments. So therefore I think the really meaning is here what they're talking is that 8 freedoms and 10 endowments, or particularly 8 freedoms. I think Tanjodana Hinda Nepaka, Hivatin, Topan Jawala, Kadendala Pemba Magana Hini Unda Jawa Kalanju. So anyway, the 8 freedoms and 10 endowments are the support. You know, if we don't have this, then we cannot really practice. And then same things as we mentioned of the before. One circumstance are missing, we cannot really complete practice of the Dharma. So the first, you know, I think we learned these things quite well, but anyway, and one of the masters that here mentioned is that if you born in the hell realms, hungry ghost realms, animal realms, barbarian realms, the long life God realms. So long life God realm is that such the God realm which has such long life, but then God realm is such joyful life, you know. They're disturbed into the all enjoyment, so they never ever even thought of done some practice. So sometimes I think we are a little bit long life God realms. And then sometimes I think we are a little bit hell realms. So maybe we are hanging around in these things 10 to 10. So most people, when we are really enjoy, summer holiday, we cannot practice, we cannot participate Dharma because of summer holiday, right? And that is something wonderful. So, isn't it? And also, the many kind of ways that we have really obstacles to be participate teaching, practice, meditation, etc. And when you look at yourself, most our problem is not such that you are, lack of faculty, lack of what they say, that being in healthy realms, hungry ghost realms, and things like that. But mostly we are a little bit, out of the Dhamma is like a little bit, I think, distracted into enjoyments of the world. So such we have this God, long life, God realms, the entire life is more just like into the farm, farm. So therefore, then there is no such really good body. One life you are very good, good life you can say, enjoy life, you don't need to go to the much work, I think, looks like what the description in the books, so you don't have to do anything, but in Dhamma point or practice point, you want to practice at all. So that is the one thing. And then they will call wrong views. Wrong view is not really like very mental quality and the body quality, but certain body, such we have all this human body, we thought, hell, angry, animal, long life God, but still, like this human body, but still this form of the body, sometimes we have such wrong views. And the wrong view has the description also, what they call is that the description about someone who really do not believe of the fact that the cause and conditions of virtue is a cause of happiness, unvirtue cause of the suffering, if we don't believe. And then that is the big kind of missing, to practice. That is the wrong view. Such someone who really believes of cause and conditions, and cause of the happiness is such the virtue, and suffering that comes through the unvirtue, if you have very strong belief, then maybe I think our mind can be very aware of the not to do the unvirtue things, try to do virtue actions, for surely. However, but like mostly we are very careless, Some point, I think our practitioners or Buddhist people, any of this, somewhere they understood. However, still like we are a little careless. So this is like a little bit lack of this effect of the wrong view, effect of the wrong view. And then particularly, then they talk about, then the next is, then also, if we born in the human beings, and still if there's no Buddhas, no Dharmas, at that kind of period, if we born in the humans, we cannot do much. And also, if we are very dullness, mentally not working well, faculties are not working well, even we born in human forms, it didn't much help. And sometimes we talk about the wrong kind of karmic, and they're talking about, maybe I think that is this 8 freedoms. And then 10 endowments also is quite important. So the 10 endowments are actually you can find in the many books, such words of my perfect teachers and etc. However, and they talk about there's five self-endowment and 5 others endowment, something like they translate like that. So that means that we should have the full faculties, and have to be the human beings, be born in the Vedic Dharma, and then live in Tamaloka. Even be born in the human beings, and then sometimes still the karmic, they will call, if you make this 5, the biggest, how you say this, unvirtue actions, I think no bondage of the...
Is it five actions with immediate retribution?
Yes, 5
actions with immediate retribution.
With immediately retributions, if we don't like such things, then I think that our mind is also very unstable, and the defilements are very thick. So those kind of people are also little hard. However, still, if you do really such kind of confess and apply some antidotes, even those kind of actions, if we do correct way of the confess, and they will be specified and also even become ahats. There was some stories of the become ahats and etc. One of the Buddha's time, there was one son, king of the sun, and he was killed his father, but later on he was very strongly regretting and followed the Buddha, confessed and practiced Dharma, and he became ahats in the one lifetime. So here the saying that such someone has done those 5 things is we call the wrong kind of leading thought, lopas, kind of karmic wrong kind of directions. He's saying, and one of the big obstacles of the practice Dharma, but certain people still you can survive from that. And then you should have to confident devotion to the Buddha's teaching, and these 5 we call self-endowments. And then the other 5 endowment is that has to be Buddha appear, has to be Buddha taught Dharma, has to be there is the such practitioners who really knows the Buddha's teachings and who can also teach to us, and then who is the also follows the Dharma teachings. If these 5 are existing, and still it's very good. If these 5 are not existing, even you have 8 freedoms, even you have 5 self-endowments, again it won't be possible to practice of the Dharma. So basically this sentence we talk about more the physical condition of the true practice. And those things are also not very easy to obtain. It will tell these things how difficult we talk to later. And then next is more like the called support of the mental. And particularly that, really good motivation or good thoughts are very rare. It's not easy. We can see ourselves. I think somehow like that, all of us, we are somewhere deep there, we really love Buddha, we really like Dharma, we really something that we want to do something, but at the same time, there's a lot of obstacles around with us. So every day if you think, how many times we really think, okay, today I have to do practice, and practice is most important of my life. How many times we have think that? It's not really easy, right? Of course, not everyone like me, but anyway, it's not easy. So So therefore, now the next sentence, they will more talking about the how difficult to raise of the such kind of good thoughts or like such things, So therefore, here says, just as on a dark night, black with clouds, the certain lighting glares, and all is clearly shown. Likewise, rarely through the Buddha's power, virtue thoughts rise, brief, and transcend in the world. This is the important part. So when we are in the dark, like for instance, like new moon, you can say, or 29th day, there's no sun, so therefore they talk about night. And then there's no moon, therefore they talk about dark. And on the top of that, there's a lot of the kind of clouds, even make more darker. So these are like little examples. The really meaning is like the Buddhas are already gone. So therefore, like moon is already, the sun is already gone. Like dark today, you can say. You compare of the when Guru Rinpoche was here, when Buddha Shakyamuni was in this world, and today it's like dark. What's called, it's night, you can say night. And then also like Nagarjuna's time, Shendendeva's time, that people have really such kind of also wisdom. They can commentary on Buddha's teachings. They collect Buddha's teachings, put into together, like these kind of things are very such kind of wisdom. So even there's no sun, but this moon, bright of the moon wisdom is there. Still like sun, you can do many things. But today, even we cannot read this Buddha's teachings. Even one time in life. Can read, in study and teaching is far away, right? So therefore, generally we have a little bit lazy, less wisdom than like ancient master times. So therefore, darkness. And on the top of that, I think, like even last centuries, last 2-3 centuries, supposed to be people more calm. There's not much distracted object, but today is full of distracted object, and people's mind is really running. The thoughts, emotions are just like full of clouds. So therefore, like not only just dark, but the full of negative emotions. And among like this kind of circumstance, still today we are starting the Bodhicitta online or locally. It's something big thing. I think it's something big thing, isn't it? So if you're really thinking of the situation of the today's, like where we born, what kind of situation. So this is also kind of not easy. How should I say? Not easy. However, that because of the such kind of blessing of the Buddhas, we have some kind of mind that we are trying to join with this teaching. And maybe you started quite well in the coming days. And who knows, maybe one day really you are interested in this book and carry this book everywhere. This book is more important than your breakfast. That will be very good. Right? Okay. So, what they are talking is this is like some kind of merit, power of the merit, blessing of the Buddhas, that such situations still we have such kind of mind to practice and study things. So therefore, more like support of the mind. From mind we need such things. So the first one, like more support of the practice of Bodhicitta, support aspect of the body, and second aspect of the mind, support of merit. So these two things are quite important, very important actually. So we can maybe, I think, stop here for the first session, and then we will be continuously teach in the after 1 hour. That was our schedule, I think, right?
Yes, yes.
So please don't forget to join the on time. If you go to the, to eat something, you have 1 hour time. Then maybe dedication, short dedication